Hello and welcome back to Bunnex Investment Group. So in this video, I'm going to review the Portal FX indicator, which is our newly released indicator. A lot of people have been asking a lot of questions pertaining this particular indicator. So I'm sure this video is going to answer most of your questions. So the first thing is, what is the Portal FX indicator? It's basically an indicator that was coded with the M15 cycle in mind. So it basically tries to catch the moves or the impulsive drops or rises of the M15 cycle from the market maker method. So another question that I always get is, does this indicator give or issue signals on my phone? So the first thing that you need to do is to actually install it. When you install it on your computer, it will look like this. It will be actually firing buy and sell signals. So to have these signals on your phone, you actually need to have your MT4 running on your computer and then actually link your phone with your MT4. So basically linking the alerts of your PC MT4 and your phone is very easy. You simply go to tools, then from tools you go to options, then from there you actually get this MetaQuest ID from your phone and add this, then enable push notifications whilst on your phone. Then after that, the most also another frequently asked question is, does this always win? All right, so to make that clear, you will not always win. Like in Forex, nothing can actually beat the market. However, you have a greater probability of winning. On that note, let's actually jump to see the trades that it has issued over the past days. So I'll start on GBP USD. This is actually, today is 6 April. It is actually gave us a valid signal. So by valid signal, we mean we need to have two indicators in place. In this case, it's the 200 and the 50 EMA in place. So to validate a signal, you need to first receive the signal on your phone. After receiving that signal, you need to check if 50 200 EMA cross occurred on the previous day from the current day of signal issuance. Like in this case, I actually received a sell signal on GBP USD. I checked to see if it's valid by seeing this 50 200 EMA crossover on this particular day. Then if you go on another pair, we can see this signal was actually issued on the 1st of April, and to check its validation, we need to see a 50 200 EMA crossover on the previous day, which is this one. Therefore, this was a valid entry. This was not a valid entry. Why? Because the signal was actually issued on the same day of a 50 200 EMA crossover, like that. Then here we actually see this being a valid signal where we had a 50 200 EMA crossover on the previous day, and then the market issued a signal on this particular day. And on this day, the signal was issued on day changeover, and whenever this happens, we know that usually the low of that day is going to be retested in the London or US session. So in this case, we created this particular low, which was later retested actually in the following London session, and the market went our direction. Then here we also had a trade this week, which was this one. It was a valid trade where we had a 50 200 EMA crossover on this particular day, and then a signal was issued here. Then after that, the market, actually this was issued on daily changeover, the market retested the same price in the London session. Unfortunately, this trade actually ended as a break-even because the market went up and then came back to retest, whilst our stops were now on break-even. Then NZD, NZD card, Also, you can see the same conditions that I was saying. You need to see a signal on your phone. After seeing that signal, you need to check if a 250 occurred in the previous day. We can see the market went down perfectly. So if you were going to wait, since this occurred around the midnight time, you could actually got your entry in these particular points. Then you can also see that we had a 5200 EMA cross here and a signal was fired. This was actually one of the best signals of this current week. We had a big spike to the upside after this was fired on our phone. So this was not a valid signal why the crossover occurred on the same day as this signal was fired. Then on NZD USD, we can see also that this was not valid, same day crossover and signal issuance. Then this was valid because crossover was issued on the previous day and the market actually gave us another actually a signal. Then this was not valid, although we can see or we can say that the market went our direction, but because it did not follow our rules, right? Then here we had another trade which was a good one. We had a signal that was fired after this 50 200 EMA cross. So basically that is how it works. You should know actually to put your stops. I'll provide you a guide on where to actually put your stop losses. But as we all know that the pairs changes with time, you'd see that with compression and uncompression of the market, you'd see that this particular move right now had 68 pips. There is a time whereby we'll see this move having probably 20 pips or 15 pips on Euro CHF. So I'm sure you've seen that with time pairs compresses and changes the amount of pips per impulse as we go with the year. So in that case, you should always keep in mind how much pips are actually being moved, especially for a day. You should check, and after checking that, you should know that stop loss should at least try to go above the structure that you have. Like in this case, we had a signal that was fired here. It is actually wise to go above structure, right? Like in this case, we can see that a signal, let me zoom in, a signal comes at candle closes, right? In this case, it came at this candle close. So going above structure, in this case 20 pips was fine for us to survive in this particular trade, and it went our direction. Then the other thing that I'm getting asked a lot is, so if this really works whenever my MT4 is running, how am I going to sustain or how am I going to keep my computer running all day 24/5? So with that, I would say there is what we call VPS, virtual private server. It's all over. I'm sure most brokers actually offer virtual private servers whereby you actually take your computer online, actually being given a server online where you can put your MT4 and it will run 24/5. With that, you can, or you are able to actually let this indicator give you signals 24/5 on your phone, just like any other apps on your phone that notifies you whenever you get something new. So that is the way you can actually get to do this. And I would say it's actually a very good indicator, especially to those who do not have enough time to look at the charts, and to those who really want to have a systematic approach to the markets, because you'd have something that enforces you to keep with the same parameters of entry. Unlike by yourself, humans, we tend to have errors in following systems. So this particular system is actually going for $100 or $90 if you once purchased anything from us, and you actually get this indicator as well as the installation guide, and you have support whenever you need some help. On that note, we come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe.